So I guess the question is, what should book bans look like, and who and what should they apply to? Like, what should that look like?
I don't think there should be bans.
See, I agree with Laura. I mean, there should be like parental control, I guess,
Right.
if there's
I
something
think that's the word.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like we go see movies, and movies
Exactly.
have different ratings, like this is M, this is R, this is PG-13. I think books should be categorized like that, but a book ban for something like this list we're looking at is like, I think
Not
seven-
even that crazy.
Yeah,
I've read some
7
of
out
the
of
books.
10 were like.
I agree.
Did you guys read any of them, first off? Like the ones on the list? Were they really, like, as they called it, like sexually explicit? Any of
No,
them?
I read them in high school. I read like 3 of the books in high school, and I felt like nothing was wrong with them. They're like all coming of age stories, so I don't understand why a coming of age story cannot
All
relate
Boys
to
Aren't
kids.
Blue by George M. Johnson. I just read a couple years ago when it came out. Phenomenal. It was a black queer story, coming of age story, which we don't really get to see a lot of. It was actually just nominated for a Daytime Emmy because they did a dramatic reading of it with all these legendary black actors to interpret the story, and that just got nominated for an Emmy. So it clearly has an impact. These type of stories have impact, but to see a list and 7 out of the 10 top 10 most banned or challenged books are LGBTQ plus content or themed is problematic.
Such an important conversation. Jamal is joining us. You guys were basically giving context to what we're seeing around the country right now.
Yes. So recently, the American Library Association released top 10 or top 14 books that were like banned over the year in schools, and over half of those were LGBTQ, and a lot of them just said like LGBTQIA plus content. And I'm like, if you ask somebody like if you think books should be banned, sure. I mean, some in schools, like I think that are inappropriate, of course, but I don't think just something being queer is inappropriate.
It's incredible to me that this is where we're at. We're at a point where people are protesting like libraries or library boards. It makes you wonder, how did we get here? And you know, like we were talking about in the segment that you showed from the Tulcha Report, these are a lot of books that a lot of people read in high school.
Right, and honestly, it's really unfortunate, like not to even make it political. I hate that it's political now, but like just on a human level, for like those kids that are in elementary school, middle school, high school, whatever, not to be able to read a book that represents them, it sucks. Because like when I was in school, like there were plenty of queer people, like openly queer, and like for them not to be able to read that or see themselves.
It's about seeing yourself in books and literature and media. And
Yeah.
like that.
I think what's really interesting about these conversations is the ideas, right? It's so divisive, but then you talk about, well, what are the ideas where people could meet in the middle? And that's why conversations like this are so important.
I agree, and we have them every single week if you guys want to watch.
Let people know, where can they watch the whole segment?
Actually, if you're streaming on 90s Plus right now, we're actually going to be streaming our latest episode after the show at 9 o'clock. So stick around.
Love it. Thank you for coming on, Jamal. We always love having you. Well,